Hello, Sugar Cubes. We're here today at the Shanghai Disneyland Resort. In its first year, the park sold over 20,000 balloons. Location scouting began in 1999, but it wasn't until 26 years later when the park was finally able to construct itself. It took 5 years to build, and on May 7th in 2016, the park had soft openings, but wasn't actually open to the public until June 16th, 2016. The park became China's first mainland park and Disney's 6th resort worldwide, and also their largest theme park to date. It only pales in comparison to the Magic Kingdom resort. It reportedly cost $5.5 billion to build, which was way over budget, and it was also behind schedule. Because of these setbacks, it did lead to some budget cuts back home in the Americas. For the first year, there was a projected 10 million guests to come visit, but they ended up surpassing that, and 11 million guests came to visit the park in its first year of operation. The park only reaches capacity at 47,000 guests, and there are 7 themed lands. Some of them are exclusive to the Shanghai Disneyland Resort. The park employs about 10,000 cast members and has 1,220 hotel rooms. In terms of acreage, this theme park is only second to Walt Disney World Resort at 25,000 acres. Shanghai Disneyland has a grand total of 963 acres. This place is ginormous. It required approximately 72,000 metric tons of steel to construct. Now, with such a big place, things here are very spread out. It contains 100 miles of utility piping. If it were laid to end, would stretch from People's Square in Shanghai nearly all the way to the city of Hangzhou. Now, Disney only owns 43% of the park itself. The primary owner is the Shanghai Shendi Group, Co-Limited, at 57% of the share. Now here at the Gardens of Imagination, which is one of those exclusive lands that I mentioned to the Shanghai Disneyland Resort, it includes over 100 species of trees and 60 species of shrubs. Now, Fantasia Carousel was created especially for the Shanghai Disneyland Park. It's featured off of the groundbreaking film Fantasia itself, and Chinese artists created this grand carousel, which features 62 magnificent flying horses with Papa, Mama, and baby horses, and 2 chariots painted into 72 optimistic colors. Now, this is the Garden of the 12 Friends, another exclusive Shanghai Disneyland Park feature in order to incorporate Disney characters and intellectual property with Chinese culture and tradition. It's part of the 11 acres of the Gardens of Imagination. Let's check out what they have. Now, the gardens themselves feature peach trees and 12 different walls and murals with mosaic tiles depicting different Disney characters as the 12 different Chinese zodiac animals. In 1997, which is the year that I was born, was the year of the ox. So I was born in the year of the ox. Now, right behind me is the Enchanted Storybrooke Castle, standing at 197 feet tall. It is the tallest castle at any Disney park, beating the Cinderella Castle at Walt Disney World in Florida, which is only 189 feet tall. Now, the cool thing about this castle is that unlike any other Disney castle at the moment, although soon to be the one in Hong Kong after its refurbishment, this castle is not dedicated to one princess, but in fact all of the princesses. All of the princesses have art and symbolism that is incorporated within the castle. Another cool thing about this castle is that the very tip top of this castle, there is a golden peony, which is a Chinese national flower. The design philosophy for building the park was authentically Disney and distinctly Chinese. It was a way of making sure that American values and Western cultural ideals weren't going to be enforced upon an Eastern and Chinese audience. So they did this by a number of different ways. Research studies showed that Chinese audiences preferred more entertainment-seeking rides and attractions like parks and shows as opposed to thrill rides and e-ticket attractions. So there's not that many roller coasters here or thrill-seeking attractions, but there are many more shows and parks and green areas. Pre-construction, teams were sent across the country to research Chinese culture and symbolism so that they could incorporate it into the parks. And Chinese artists, architects, and designers were also hired to construct the park. The Toy Story Land Hotel is built in the shape of an infinity symbol because it's considered an important symbol in Chinese culture. Rides like Space Mountain, Jungle Cruise, and even It's a Small World have been completely omitted from the park and replaced with other distinct attractions, so in order to event kind of Western ideals and the sense of imperialism. Now there are also extensive picnic areas and green spaces here, and a lot more benches and places to rest. It is much more common for a Chinese family to bring elders with them, the older generation with them, along on this family excursion than it is for Western families to do so. So the Disney company made sure that there were plenty of places to rest and to sit down. One thing that you won't find here in this park is Main Street USA. It was replaced with Mickey Avenue as a way of introducing Disney characters to Chinese guests and also not forcing American values upon a Chinese audience. Now, right where I am at, this is the famous Club 33 in this location in Shanghai Disneyland Park. This is the door right here. I wish I could get you guys inside, but unfortunately I don't have the secret password today. But if I did have the secret password, what I would do is I would press this button here, and then there's a camera here that they can see me through, and then this is a speaker and microphone, and two-way intercom. I could give them the special password for the day of what they would have emailed to me in advance the day of, and then they could confirm that it was me and that I had special access and clearance to get inside. And then the door would open up for me. I really wish I could get you guys inside. I wish I could go inside. But unfortunately, as I said, I don't have the password for today. Now, fast passes work a little bit differently here too. Instead of getting the 3 free fast passes that you're used to in the American parks, here you get 1 free fast pass, which can only be made the day of after you've already entered the park. You can also purchase additional fast passes called Premier Access once you are inside the park as well. Everything has to be made the day of. There are different tiers for the Premier Access fast passes. We did the top layer, the top tier for the fast passes, which includes pretty much all of the main attractions here that would have a longer wait time. There is also an adventure tier and another tier, and they include different rides within the bundle. But you can also purchase fast passes for a single attraction. So just buy a fast pass for Tron or buy a fast pass for Soarin' if you didn't, if you weren't able to get a free one for that. We did do that. When I was with my friends here, we didn't because it is a little pricey and it wouldn't necessarily work in the Western parks, but here it works. Want to hear a spooky fact? Upon the construction of the Shanghai Disneyland theme park, over 1,200 graves had to be relocated. The Chinese government offered the families financial compensation for the inconvenience. Now, the Shanghai Disneyland theme park is also the first Disney park to incorporate an explicitly pirate-themed land known as Treasure Cove. And it features the ride of Pirates of the Caribbean Battle for the Sunken Treasure attraction that uses 3.6 million liters of water. Pirates of the Caribbean also has the latest audio animatronics and magnetic ride system and spans 4 acres. It is one of the most complex ride systems that Disney has ever created. With 3,000 tons of steel, over 60,000 meters of conduit underneath the attraction, and over 13,000 square meters of character plaster on the exterior. Right behind me is the famous Tron Coaster. Shanghai Disneyland theme park is the only theme park that Disney has that has a Tron themed attraction or coaster, but soon there will be one in Magic Kingdom's Tomorrowland as well. The cable and wiring required to make Tron could wrap around the city of Shanghai 37 times. One of the fastest rides in the park at 60 miles per hour. It is the first ride of its kind here at the Disney parks, with 966 meters of track, 210 meters being on the outside and 756 meters on the inside.